Welcome to Side Notes. I'm at the Toronto Web Fest 2014. I'm here with Quincy from the web series In Between Men. Quincy, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. This is an awesome event. Wish everybody at home could be here.
And your web series has a following about, you're saying 3 million people are watching it.
Yeah, 3 million people, very loyal followers. We had 2.5 million our first season, and we grew that our second season to 3 million, and we're preparing now for our third season, about to start writing it. So.
Can you quickly just talk briefly about the synopsis behind the show?
Sure. So the show is set in New York City. It's about these urban professionals, four guys, and it's all about like the all-American masculine guy who is gay but doesn't really relate to mainstream gay culture, and he's not straight either, so he lives in the world in between. It's a dramedy. Critics kind of said it's like Entourage meets Sex in the City. So it's a little drama, little comedy set in New York City. They have great apartments, great lives. You kind of have that great New York City backdrop, as the undertone, the underpulse of the show. So, yeah, that's pretty much what it's about.
And you were on a panel recently, just a couple minutes ago, and you're talking about courting brands.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about how important that is in regards to funding web series?
I think it's very important. I mean, a brand may not fund 100% of your series, but look, when you become a content creator these days, you also become an instant businessman and businesswoman. That's what I tell people. You have to know what are the trends, you have to know information, you have to know what's happening in the industry now and what's happening. It changes every 3 or 4 months. You have to know what to anticipate. You need to be on top of data. You need to know what CPM, you need to know about options in terms of platforms and funding and monetization models. I mean, there's so much to know. You just can't blindly just go in the studio or just film it and then just put it out there and not be, informed on what's happening out there. So brands are really important. I think when you know your audience and know who you're writing for and know who you're filming for, you'll know your target. And if you please those people, then you'll have the numbers and you'll know what kind of brands to actually pursue and go after for your project. But yeah, they're very important. Sometimes they can fund 100% if it's like a branded content. Sometimes it's a percentage. Sometimes it's product placement, but still that has value for your series, because the more you can get donated, the less you have to buy. So there is value there. So yeah, it's incredibly important. I don't think the web series, digital content can exist or grow without the partnership of the media and advertising and branded world. So.
Well, your web series, you're throwing out the number there that it costs about $200,000 for your web series to do. A lot of web series just starting out, it may only cost a couple $100 of that. How do you find it to get from the beginning stage up to the level that you're at right now? What steps would you recommend people follow?
Well, the beginning stage for me was still a pretty high number. We always, I think our first season was like 150 grand. It's just, for me, it's about, I'm not good at crowdfunding. It's not my strength. Anybody that can go on Kickstarter, Indiegogo, and all the rest of them and GoFundMe and raise money, I think it's amazing. It's a little too high maintenance for me. I need to be able to focus my energies in many other different places, and I think it takes a lot of energy to go out and email people all the time and ask, to donate. So I prefer to go after private investors. So I prefer to put together a nice presentation, have a staged reading of the show, invite potential investors and interested parties, and actually read the script. That way they can hear it the way you intended it to be presented, because sometimes we just give people a script, they don't always interpret it the way you intended. But in that format, you have the opportunity to show people exactly the way you envisioned your series, and then let people come see, and that's been my strength, is being able to go after identifying people who will support the show potentially, and then asking them for money directly, which is another reason why you should know who you're targeting with your series, because the people you're targeting who will then find your series interesting will probably be the people who will fund it and get it made. So that's my little bit of advice.
Well, you're also suggesting have a good business plan at the same time.
Yeah, I think you do. You can't just make it and just be a filmmaker and just I'm going to make a movie and then hopefully gets, take it to a festival and hopefully picks up distribution. You really have to have a fully focused business strategy that incorporates concept, audience development, the production itself, monetization, fundraising. You have to have all of those things. And if you don't have that acumen, then you definitely should partner with somebody who has a business acumen. If you're definitely like 100% left brain creator, then you need to partner with somebody who does. Not everybody kind of has both, but it's crucial. You just can't. Otherwise, you're just going to put your stuff out there into a sea of, every year I think the web series world grows by 30%. More and more people are putting out web series, and it's so hard to separate yourself from the pack and let people discover your show. And you have to do that by strategy. It's not happenstance.
You also have a production company too. Can you quickly give your website, not only for this web series, but for your production company too?
So for the web series is InBetweenMen.tv. The production company is Qubed Films, QUBEDFILMS.com. And it's called Qubed because two things. My name's Quincy, so it's a Qubed. And also, when you take something to the third power, it means you cube it. So our focus is film, TV, and web. And we're developing a lot of TV shows. We just have 3 new pilots I'm developing, and some unscripted things as well, and producing some films. So we're busy over at Qubed. And we're based out of New York City.
And actually, people can contact you on one of those websites and send you a question?
Yeah, there's a contact page there that comes directly to us, and then they'll be able to send questions, and we'll reach back out to them. So.
And what are some final words you wish to share with young up-and-coming artistic people, whether they want to go web series, movie, novels, whatever way they want to express themselves?
My single word of advice is be disciplined. I mean, it takes a lot of work. I mean, we have a big audience, but it's not by happenstance. We built that. It's a lot of work. I work on the show every day. There's not a day goes by that I don't do something for the show, whether it's answering an email, doing something for development. There are no days off. Like literally, there was a period for like 2 years where I worked 20-hour days, had a full-time job, and developed the show in my company. Now I just do it full-time, but you have to be disciplined. You can't be a hobbyist. You can't be a dilettante. You need to really decide this is what you want to do, because if you want it to be successful and if you want it to be advantageous to your career, like some people, they're actors and they want to start a web series to kind of create their own work. If you want that to be advantageous to your career, lead to something, well then you got to put the work into it every single day over a sustained long period for it to eventually pay off for you. It's for you to even begin to hope that it would pay off for you. Anything less than that, and you might as well not even have done it at all, So that's my single advice, is discipline.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Hi, guys.